Now on Channel 4, thousands are spent each year on upkeep, so why is this historic Tennessee cemetery falling apart?
Ready for the open road. A highway decades in the making is about to open for drivers.
And state-of-the-art.
No, I don't feel dizzy.
What these artificial patients are teaching real-life students.
Working for you in high definition. This is Channel 4 News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to Channel 4 News at 5. The final resting place for hundreds of Tennesseans, including two governors, is falling apart.
Yeah, headstones at one historic cemetery are about to topple over. The managers think they know why. However, fixing the problem, well, that's another issue. Channel 4's Cynthia Williams is here with the story.
The city manager says his city spends more than $100,000 a year to maintain Lone Oak Cemetery in Lewisburg. But now there's a problem that even a lawnmower can't fix. At first glance, this old cemetery looks like any other. It will lean or fall in one direction. It was a cemetery board that asked the city manager to look at options for fixing that problem at Lone Oak Cemetery. As you heard him say, the city attorney is reviewing possible solutions. Demetria.
Cynthia, thank you. Well, it's being called a good day for drivers and for towns across Middle Tennessee. The complete State Route 840 is about to be open to traffic. The final stretch covers 14 miles in Williamson County. It has been under construction since 2009. The final section starts at Pinewood Road outside of Leapers Fork, heads south over the Natchez Trace Parkway, then goes east to Columbia Pike near Independence High School. And that's where Channel 4's Kara Kumari is live, watching for that first car. Kara?
First car has not come by yet. As you can see behind me, this road is still pretty quiet. It officially opens at 6 p.m. Now, you mentioned I'm out at Columbia Pike. There is actually a line of people here, a few people here who want to be the first people to drive on 840. It's been a 25-year wait, and now they don't mind waiting an hour or two to get on that road. 4 Tennessee governors were on hand to cut the ribbon, marking the end of the 25-year road project known as State Route 840.
I've watched it pretty much my whole life, actually, being built.
And the state legislature actually passed a bill earlier this year that will make this stretch of 840 a scenic highway. That means there will be no billboards. Reporting live in Thompson Station, Kara Kumari, Channel 4 News.
Thanks, Kara. Early voting in Tennessee has finished, and state officials say it went out with a bang. Yesterday, more than 134,000 people cast ballots across the state, the largest number since early voting began. But this year didn't set a record. Bad weather in East Tennessee, courtesy Hurricane Sandy, kept turnout lower than it was back in 2008. Of course, the big rush will be on Election Day next Tuesday, and voters could have some new company at their polling place. Channel 4's Kimberly Kurth is here with that story.
Well, Tom, federal inspectors will be monitoring mid-state polls on Election Day. The Department of Justice just announced they will deploy observers to 23 states Tuesday. We don't know exactly why Davidson and Shelby counties made the list, but they are now among 51 jurisdictions that will be watched. The Department of Justice says although state and local governments are ultimately responsible for administering elections, federal observers will be in place across the country Tuesday to enforce federal voting rights laws. But the Tennessee Secretary of State's office says this is nothing new. Monitors have been in our state before. In fact, the Department of Justice has been sending observers to the polls since the passage of the Voting Rights Act in 1965. They'll be watching to make sure no one is discriminated against while trying to cast their ballot. The law also requires language and disability assistance be available to voters. Now, if you have a complaint about your experience at the polls, the Department of Justice will be fielding complaints by phone, fax, and email. Just go to our website for more information on how you can report a suspected violation. Demetria.
Kimberly, thank you. Mount Juliet police have identified a woman found shot at a storage facility early yesterday, but many aspects of this murder case are still a mystery. Channel 4's Carly Gordon is live now in Mount Juliet with the latest for us. Carly?
Yeah, Demetria, we know her name is Sarah McPherson. She's a 35-year-old mom who lived right up the street from that storage unit facility where police recently discovered her body. What we don't know is who she was there to meet, and police say answering that question they think is the key to cracking this case. Now let's revisit the timeline. An officer discovered Sarah McPherson's body in her parked car at the Central Pike used storage facility at around 1:15 a.m. Keep in mind that no one called 911. Again, the officer just found her shot dead during a routine check. Then this morning, police showed up to her house. They say they're interviewing family and friends, but do not yet have a suspect. Police tell us at this point they do believe McPherson drove herself to the storage facility. Now they're hoping those who talked to McPherson in the hours and days leading up to the murder will be able to tell them who.
Sarah can't speak to us right now, and it's up to us to piece this crime scene together, to look at the evidence so we can speak for her and hopefully seek the justice that she needs through a proper prosecution.
Now, police tell us at this point they're not ruling anything out, but they do not think that drugs played any sort of role in this murder. Anyone with information can offer tips anonymously. You can do that online or by phone. Reporting live in Mount Juliet, I'm Carly Gordon, Channel 4 News.
A domestic violence case led police to something unexpected at a Clarksville home. Police say a man was using this moonshine still to make alcohol for his co-workers. Officers also confiscated corn mash and 44 jars of the finished product. Matthew Walter has been arrested for domestic assault. Charges related to the moonshine activity are still pending.
Happening now, a lot of folks are lining up to hear from a controversial religious figure who is making a stop here in Nashville. Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan is set to speak at TSU in less than an hour. Channel 4's Adrian Flores is live on the campus where security is expected to be very tight. Adrian?
Yeah, Tom, Minister Farrakhan is actually the keynote speaker here. It is for a summit called the Collegiate United Summit International Conference. Students from Fisk, Meharry, TSU, all expected to be here. And as you mentioned, he is controversial. If you've ever heard any of his speeches, you know he definitely does not mince words. Some people consider it a little controversial. A lot of them consider it politically charged, especially when it comes to issues facing African Americans. But from what I see here today, it is mostly nothing but supporters here at the Gentry Center at TSU. He's going to be here speaking about some of the issues that are facing HBCUs. A lot of them, some people say, are really struggling at this point to stay afloat. So he's going to be talking about some of those issues and ways to attack those issues and solve some of those problems. And I asked the organizers, given Minister Farrakhan's history, if he's really the right person to give this message. Here's what they have to say.
We want to hear a word, and we know, because I've heard it personally, something that's going to inspire people. This is the same man that inspired a call for 1 million men on the Mall of Washington, D.C. in 1995, and 2 million came.
Now, the summit is actually free and open to the public, so you still have time to get here. Minister Farrakhan is expected to take the stage around 6 o'clock. Live at TSU, Adrian Flores, Channel 4 News.
Electric power is slowly returning to parts of New York City battered by Hurricane Sandy. Most of Manhattan should have electricity by tonight, but customers in other boroughs could be waiting another week. Meanwhile, tempers are running short with long lines for gasoline and supplies. Within the last hour, Mayor Michael Bloomberg announced the city's marathon that had been scheduled for Sunday is now canceled. Critics had worried that the race could have been a drain on resources. Meanwhile, the relief effort continues to grow. Channel 4's Josh Devine is following what local volunteers are doing to help. Josh?
And they are certainly doing a lot, Demetria. The images from Sandy's recovery effort are just simply stunning, and we are keeping our eyes right now on a live feed out of New York City. We expect a news conference to start just in a short time about that New York City marathon that was originally set for Sunday. That will not now happen. In spite of all the bad news, there is some good news. The American Red Cross sent over some pictures today of the volunteers that they have sent to the Northeast. Some of these folks have training. Some of them are just good-natured people trying to do what they can to help folks in the Northeast. And that volunteer effort continues to grow tonight. So far, the Red Cross sent more than 3,800 volunteers to the Northeast. Volunteers set up 12 mobile kitchens. They served more than 215,000 meals so far. They also shipped more than 60 trailers of supplies and cleanup materials. Now tonight, very much the need continues to grow as more people regain access to ability to communicate. You can make a financial donation to the Red Cross online or by calling 1-800-RED-CROSS. You can also text Red Cross to 90999 to make a one-time $10 donation. Giving blood or platelets would be a big help as well, because the Red Cross canceled more than 360 blood drives because of the storm, representing a 12,000 unit loss. You can call 1-800-RED-CROSS to make an appointment. It's going to be a big night on NBC as well, because we're going to be hosting a benefit concert. It's called Hurricane Sandy Coming Together Benefit. The Today Show host Matt Lauer will be hosting this telethon with a star-studded lineup that begins at 7 o'clock. Back to you.
Channel 4's Josh Devine tonight. Thanks, Josh. Still ahead on Channel 4, a new type of hospital patient that keeps students on their toes.
If they give him a wrong dose of a medication, he can code on the table.
The local university now using these artificial people and how it's helping in the classroom.
And coming up, Rudy Kalis will join me. We're out here at Brentwood High School as we set the stage for Touchdown Friday. We'll talk about all the games we're going to see tonight.
Seeing a nice bright sky there in the background, and we've enjoyed lots of sunshine today. Temperatures near 70. Well, there's change on the way. The clouds are starting to spill in from the north. I'll tell you what that means for the weekend coming up.
Keep watching for your chance to win a $400 shopping spree at Cool Springs Galleria.